Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Please feel free to write me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding to this video or any other videos that I have posted in the past. If you have any videos that you would like me to make, please let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Recently, I received a question from a viewer. She asked me, can you help me with prepping, particularly in cutting? Now, she said, I'm not very familiar with cutting because in most of my cooking, cutting is only a small part of the prepping process. And I cannot agree with her more because in most type of cooking, prepping is not that essential. But when it comes to stir frying, prepping is absolutely critical, and particularly in the case of cutting. Because in stir fry, it is necessary to cut all the ingredients into smaller pieces so that they will be suitable for the purpose of stir frying, and in this case, they can be cooked very rapidly. I remember about 4 years ago, I taught a cooking class. I have about 15 students in my class. And in this class, I stress on prepping. I want to demonstrate how to do advanced prepping and what is the strategy in advanced prepping that will help you to make stir frying every day to be more efficient as well as more enjoyable. In this group, I have a mixture of some people who are already a competent cook with some which are novel cook. So I asked them how many of them that feel uncomfortable with using a knife. About almost 60 to 70% raised their hands. So then I realized that in many cases when it comes to stir fry, particularly comes to prepping, using the knife, most people still find it rather uncomfortable. Now, cutting can be quite tricky, as demonstrated in here, when you try to dice an onion. There's a different technique that you use for dicing an onion, but you can see there are times that you have to cut very closely in order to cut the onion into the size that is suitable for the intended goal. But prepping also has another challenge, particularly when it comes to cut meat. Meat sometimes can be difficult to cut, particularly if you want to cut it into thin slices. The reason for that is that because meat tend to be rather slippery from time to time. If you are not careful, it is very easy to slice your fingers. Now in here, I demonstrate a cutting technique which is very different from what most people use in their cutting process. Now most people when they cut, they will extend their fingers out to hold the food ingredients. And that definitely is an appropriate way to do it because if you hold the finger out, it is much easier to grasp the food ingredients. However, the danger is that if you extend your finger, it is far more likely for you to cut your finger, particularly if you are not paying attention. Once one of my friends told me that he had his finger terribly sliced because while he was cutting some meat, somebody came to the driveway and honked, and it turned out to be his son, and he wanted to get his father's attention so that he can come out and help him to carry something into the house. And that disrupted him, and he cuts his finger badly. So here I want to show you a cutting technique that's known as a claw technique. Well, the term actually is descriptive of how you hold your finger. Basically, you curl the finger toward the back of your hand, so it actually hidden behind the back of the finger and the knuckles. So consequently, when you cut the meat or any type of food ingredients, you actually have the knife that cut back against the back of your finger. In this way, the tip of the finger never get exposed to the knife. And this is probably the safest method for you to cut, because in this way you have a tactile contact between the knife and the back of your finger, and you know where the knife is, whereas your tip of the finger is hid away up behind the back of the hand. The concept of this method is actually very simple. In fact, a child can learn it readily. I remember I learned it when I was about 10 years old, when one of the family members taught me because she wanted me to help out in the kitchen. Now this method can be applied to many different kinds of food ingredients, but you have to do some modifications. Like in here, I am cutting some scallions. Now it is hard to hold all the little pieces of scallion together. So basically, this technique, the reason they call it claw technique is that you curl your finger and you grab the ingredients almost like the claw of a bird, or in this case, a predatory bird. This method actually is very versatile. Not only you can hold the ingredients that are large, but you can also hold ingredients that are small, that are lengthy. The important thing is that always curl your tip of your finger away from the knife, and you keep it in the back of your hand. So this way, you can manipulate the finger in such a way to grab ingredients of different sizes. At the same time, you always keep the tip of the finger out of harm's way. This is the best way to protect yourself against any danger of slicing your finger. During that cooking class which I told you about, I decided I will show them how to adopt this cutting technique. And it was not surprising. The technique is really simple, and actually by the end of the class, everybody have mastered this technique without any problem. And we tried different types of ingredients so they can get accustomed to how to make adjustment of the shape of your hand, particularly the finger, how to grab ingredients of different sizes. Here is a good example to cut something that is actually quite difficult. This is ginger. What I want to do is that to slice the ginger first and cut them into tiny strips. Now ginger is a little bit hot, and so in order to slice it, I want to slice it in this vertical position. So as you can see here, in order to slice this, you really need to figure a way how to hold the ingredients and to orientate in such a way that you can cut a thin slice over it. Now again, the key is that keep your finger away and tuck it inside your hand. Now once you're able to do that, you can now adjust the finger in such a way to hold the ingredient in a particular configuration so that your knife can be easily go through them. So with some practice, you can make adjustment to quite a few different versions of how to manage different type of ingredients. Now this is also a tough ingredient to cut. Now these are scallion, these are the lower parts of the scallions. I want to cut it into thin strips. As you can see, with this method, you can easily make this very easily done, and you can keep your finger away from the knife and stay safe. So this method is probably the most effective method for cutting, but more importantly, it's probably the safest method. And the reason is very simple, because by using this method, the tip of your finger will be never exposed to the knife. And consequently, your finger will be always protected. And of course, because the knife is much lower than the back of your finger, so you will never cut the back of your finger as well. I have been using this method for my entire life, and I never ever have cut myself. In fact, this method is so safe, even a child can learn it. My friend Jimmy actually taught his daughter how to use this method. His daughter was very interested in learning to cook after she watched her father in doing all the cooking, particularly in stir-frying and prepping, and so she told her father that she would like to help. So Jimmy taught her daughter how to use this method for the prepping, and she quickly learned how to use it. Now she can handle in cutting most of the vegetables, and she's just started learning how to cut meat as well. The safety of this method actually rely on two parts. One is the understanding where to place the finger and how to keep the tip of the finger away from the knife by tucking it inside the hand. Another one is to select a suitable knife. And I find that the best knife is a ceramic vegetable knife. This knife has a tall enough blade that will give you the kind of tactile contact that you need with the back of your finger. This knife is not super sharp, but sharp enough for cutting vegetables as well as any type of meat. But the best thing about this knife is that it stays sharp for much longer, and usually you don't have to sharpen it for a couple years. And you can take a look at this video for more details. If you're looking for ways to improve your knife skill, I would give this a try. Each morning I go for a walk. I try to catch the sunrise, and I find that one of the best places to watch sunrise is in the flatland of central Illinois. And over the years, I have seen many sunrises. Some of them are truly extraordinary. I have never gotten tired of them because each one of them are different from others. I hope you enjoy the photos that I posted as much as I do. Okay, so if you would like to learn more about the fast cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. I post a video each day, so keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.